Good morning, guys. It is Sleepless Authors here, and it's October, which means National Novel Writing Month is on the horizon and approaching fast. I've participated quite a lot since 2008. That was the first year I took part. Some years I've been successful in one, some years I haven't, but no matter what, I think it's a great writing activity to help you get your first draft down. You should definitely plan out your characters. You want to have a decent idea of their motivations, their likes, their dislikes. If you want to, there are some very exhaustive and very lengthy character profiles out there that you can fill out, and basically it asks you a bunch of questions about your main character, like their past, their childhood, their aversions, their preferences. And it's kind of nice planning and pre-writing to do, because then when you sit down and write the book, you already know a lot of things about your character, and you can slip little things into scenes about their preferences, and it just kind of makes them feel like a well-rounded person. It makes them feel more realistic to your reader. So it's good to outline your events. The level of depth you want to take is up to you. If you at least make a rough little list of events, main events that you want to cover, it's important to have some kind of plan or a loose timeline going into your book. Things will change along the way. You'll have new ideas that you need to figure out how to assimilate into the whole, but it's really good to at least have a rough outline. If for your creative process you can do a detailed outline and just jump right into it and have it go really smoothly and easily, then by all means go ahead and do so. But just do your outlining here in October. Do as much of your outlining as you can in advance. Which also brings me to research. What genre are you writing? Are you going to write sci-fi? Are you writing historical fiction? Not every genre requires research. If you're doing fantasy, you might not need much research at all. You might just be kind of going completely off the cuff, drawing from your mind, creating awesome things. But if you're going to need to research weapons, like different types of swords and so on, go ahead and try to do that ahead of time. You will thank yourself later. So obviously if you're doing historical fiction, there's a ton of research to do. Time periods, cultures, cultural norms for the era. There's a lot to cover, and if you do that ahead of time here in October, you will thank yourself later. The same goes for sci-fi, honestly, because if you are doing a sci-fi story that draws a lot on science fact, then you might as well gather up those articles and so on that you're going to need, and try to level up your general knowledge for whatever area of sci-fi that you're going to be writing about. Next tip is build in your writing time. Start trying to plan now. For example, if you're going to get up an hour earlier every day to write in November, start getting up an hour earlier now. That way you're already in the routine and kind of flowing with it once November hits. Next, just stock up on coffee. Or if you're a tea person, stock up on tea, because you are gonna need caffeine, and probably a lot of it. This is number 6, and this is my biggest tip of them all. But know your ending. This is a little different from outlining because, an outline can be really rough, an outline can be really detailed and concrete. However, either way, however your creative process goes, if you're the type who doesn't outline at all, at least know your ending. Have a solid idea of where you want to get at the end of the story. There's a lot of writers out there who actually write their last chapter first. J.K. Rowling has done it, and there's a lot of writers out there who do it, and it really helps you to write the book if you have your end goal in mind. If you know what you want to happen and where you want your characters to be at the end, it can really help you subtly develop and foreshadow things leading up to that event. Endings are hard, and when you're writing a novel in 1 month, endings are even harder because you have to deal with the whole narrative arc. You need to get everything out there on the page in 1 month. You want some of that foreshadowing in there from the get-go. Obviously, no editing. It's, no shave November, no editing November, because editing is going to slow you down. The whole goal of National Novel Writing Month is to just write. Even if your ending's a little bit spongy and squishy at this point, it's okay. Just have a vague idea. Just have that thought in your head. That way then when you're writing, everything is going to be shaping up to that and leading up to that, and it's going to feel really cohesive. Obviously, when you go back and edit in December and onward, you can always trim things up. You can add instances of foreshadowing that will segue to the ending better, but you really want your main events to lead up to the ending. You don't want to kind of have the ending be a total surprise and only have like a few little instances of foreshadowing leading to it. So the more you have in mind about the ending, the better. So with that said, I would love to chat with you guys and hear about what novels you're planning. I myself am adding to the caffeine supply and generally getting ready. In my past years, I did do some really in-depth planning since I was doing historical fiction. Like I said, it actually was so much planning and, timelining that when it was time to write, I didn't enjoy myself as much as I could have. So this year, I am actually going in a little bit less prepared with a looser outline for myself. So we're going to see how this goes. I used to write that way a lot when I was younger, working on my first couple manuscripts. But it's been a long, long time since I wrote like that. But anyway, leave a comment below, let me know what you're writing, and let's get ready for a month of literary madness.